Hello and welcome to lesson 49 of this B1 course with Perfectly Spoken. My name is Ellen and I am your teacher today, and today's lesson is a vocabulary lesson, and we are going to learn ways of apologizing, which I have to say is very, very important in Britain. People apologize all the time, even for things that they didn't do. So apologizing is a very important thing to understand, to be able to do in English. Okay, and today we will learn different language for apologizing, compare formal and informal language, and differently to past lessons, we're going to practice our writing skills. We're going to improve our writing skills. Okay, so today's lesson has a different focus to past lessons with me, which we have mainly practiced speaking in. Today's lesson, we're going to practice writing. So make sure you have your notebook and pen ready to go. And you will have to pause the recording to give yourself time to do the writing. But let's get started. Okay, so like I say, apologizing is very British. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oops, I'm very sorry. We would like to express our sincere apologies. So the formality depends on the situation. What do we apologise for? Maybe we've crashed into somebody's car and we need to apologise. We don't know this person, so how formal would we be? Or you're in a restaurant and they've given you terrible food. It's overcooked. You complain, they need to apologise to you. And in the third picture, we've got a man who realises he hasn't got any money. So he's gone out for a drink with a friend and he hasn't got money to pay for it. So he has to apologise to his friend and ask them to pay for him. So we apologise to different people for different things. So the situation is different and that affects the formality. Another thing that affects the formality is who do we apologise to? So in this first picture, we've got a son or a father, a son and a father apologizing. One of them's apologizing to the other. Maybe the son crashed the father's car, so he has to apologize to his father. In the next picture, there's a man complaining in a restaurant. So I imagine the waitress is apologizing for the food. Maybe it's overcooked, maybe it's cold, maybe it's late. And then in the third picture, we have a business meeting. Perhaps one of these people didn't do the job that they had to do. They didn't have time. And so they are having to apologize. So like I say, we have to apologize to different people in different situations for different things. And the level of formality changes. So that's what we're going to think about today. So what would you do in these situations? You realise you are unable to go to a friend's dinner party. You go to a shop and need help from a shop assistant, but the shop assistants are chatting and don't see you. You have an important family gathering on the same day as a very important meeting at work. What would you do in these situations? Pause the recording and have a think, and then I will tell you what I would do. Okay, let's have a look. So what would I do? If I realise I'm unable to go to a friend's dinner party, I might give them a call on the telephone, but I would probably send them an email, send them a message explaining. In B, you go into a shop and need help from a shop assistant, but the shop assistants are chatting and they don't see you. What would you do? I would probably send a letter or an email to the manager and make a complaint. And in C, you have an important family gathering on the same day as a very important meeting at work. What would you do? I would send an email explaining the situation to my boss or to the person leading the meeting. What would you do? Something similar? Okay, so in each of those situations, what would I do? I would write to the person. So that's why today's lesson is focusing on writing. So here, in the first task, we have these three situations. You write to a shop to complain about the service, and they reply. Number 2, you cannot go to a friend's dinner party. And number 3, you cannot attend an important work meeting. Okay, A, B, C, we've got written apologies to these three situations. I'd like you to match 1, 2, 3 with A, B, C, and pause the recording, have a think about it, and then we'll have a look together. Okay, welcome back. I hope you could see the different level of formality in the writings. We're going to analyse that more in detail later, but for now, let's see what your instinct told you. So, you write to a shop to complain about the service, they reply. So this is very formal. Dear Ms. Jones, we are writing to apologise for ... Okay, very formal. Number 2, you cannot go to a friend's dinner party. So this is a friend, it's not so formal. So this is with C. Hi Embers, a quick message to say I'm so sorry that... And the third situation, you cannot attend an important work meeting. This is A. Dear Mary, so it's someone I know. I'm writing to let you know that I am very sorry, but unfortunately I cannot come to the meeting on Friday. Okay, so you see we use different levels of formality depending on the situation and depending on who we are talking to, in spoken English and in written English. So here are some more examples of written English and levels of formality. Formal, semi-formal and informal written language. So formal, dear Ms. Jones. Semi-formal, dear Mary. And informal, hi Embers. We are writing to, that's formal. I'm writing to let you know, that's semi-formal. And informal, a quick message to say. And notice here that in the formal writing, we don't use contractions. Not we're writing to, we are writing to. But in the semi-formal, that's okay. Okay, and in a formal one, we apologise for. Semi-formal, I'm sorry, but. And informal, I'm so sorry that. Okay, so semi-formal, informal, sometimes are very, very similar. And the last one, the way to close the letter, in a formal letter, yours sincerely, and your full name, Ellen Evans. Semi-formal, best regards, and your first name, Ellen. And in an informal letter, speak soon, lots of love, Ellen. Okay, so you see the different language that we use in formal, semi-formal and informal writing. Okay, this is task 2. Here we have a big long text, so you will definitely have to pause the recording now and in a moment and have a look at the letter. And I want you to decide how formal it is. Okay, so pause the recording, have a read. How formal? Formal, semi-formal or informal? And how do you know? Pause the recording. Okay, welcome back. Let's have a look. So, the language that I think indicates how formal is here. Okay, I've highlighted it in green. Thank you very much for your email. They have expressed their sincere apologies. We would like to offer you. We apologize once again. Yours sincerely. So I'm sure you identified this as formal. Okay, it's a formal letter. Okay, here's the next one. Again, I'd like you to pause the recording. How formal is this, and how do you know what language indicates it? So pause the recording. Okay, welcome back. Let's have a look. The language that should indicate its formality is highlighted in green. I'm writing to let you know I'm really sorry for the inconvenience, and best wishes. Okay, I've also included in blue these are not language for apologizing or for a letter specifically, but they are typical in semi-formal, excuse me, and informal writing. You cannot use them in formal writing, or you shouldn't, should I say. Get is not typical in formal writing, and fill in, phrasal verb fill in. Okay, so those are not typical in formal English. Okay, you can use them in semi-formal and in informal. Okay, let's move on to the next. Oh, sorry, the answer. Of course, it's semi-formal. I think I indicated that already. Okay, and the last one, I'd like you to pause the recording, have a read, think about how formal it is, and how do you know? Okay, pause the recording. Okay, let's have a look together. So, the language that indicates how formal. Hey there, a quick message. We're really sorry about. Sorry to miss it. Be in touch. All the best. Okay, and these bits of language indicate that it is informal. Okay, I think it's quite clear the difference. I hope that you can see that. And now we're going to practice using it, because that's a very good way to consolidate what you have learned. So now it's your turn. I'm going to give you instructions for an email of apology. Decide how formal it is. Write your email. Compare it to my example. Okay, so after I've shown you the instructions for the email, you are definitely going to need to pause this to have to give you a chance, give you time to do your writing. So here are the instructions. Okay, here is the writing task. You went to a restaurant on the weekend to have dinner with your friends, but the service was not very good. Here is the email you sent to the restaurant. Dear Sir, Madam, I'm writing to express my disappointment in the service I received at your restaurant on the 22nd of June. I was meeting some old friends and we selected your restaurant as we thought it was a friendly, relaxed place that serves delicious food. We made a mistake. On the day, the waiters did not say hello, the food took a long time, and it was cold when it was served. In addition, when we arrived, the table was dirty. I hope you will take this matter seriously, and I look forward to hearing from you. Yours faithfully, Heather Cartwright. Okay, notice before in formal writing we said yours sincerely. In this one we have yours faithfully, and that is because we begin Dear Sir, Madam. If you say Dear Mrs. Jones, you can finish the letter yours sincerely. If you start Dear Sir, Madam, so you don't know the name, you finish the letter yours faithfully. Okay? So I'd like you to pause the recording and write the restaurant's reply. So think about how formal it is. The restaurant is writing to a customer, so it's going to be quite formal. Think about how to apologize. What language are you going to use? And very important, make an offer or suggestion to make things better. Okay, so pause the recording, and then when you come back, I will show you an example that I have written, and you can compare it to yours. Okay, good luck. Okay, welcome back, and here is my letter written by the restaurant to their customer. Okay, read through, have a pause the recording, and have a read. Compare it to your answer. Okay, and now I am going to give you 2 more tasks, further practice for you. I'd like you to write an informal email to a friend, Mike, apologizing because you can't go to his birthday party. And I'd like you to write a semi-formal letter to your boss, Janet, apologizing for missing a meeting. So write your letters of apology in these 2 situations. One is informal, one is semi-formal. Okay, so write your letters, and then I will show you my examples, not today, but next lesson. So, example replies will be included in review lesson 50. I really hope you can join me in that lesson, and we will review lessons 46 to 49, including looking at examples of possible apology letters and emails. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you have learned some more language for apologizing, and that you have learned some skills for writing formal, semi-formal, and informal letters. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.